Excusez-moi, on va commencer. J'avais juste un problème avec l'enregistrement. Je voulais être sûre que nous ayons bien un enregistrement. Donc c'est fait, c'est vérifié. Nous aurons bien un enregistrement. Donc je vous remercie. Donc je suis très heureuse d'accueillir ici les représentants de l'opposition, heureuse encore une fois d'accueillir ici pour qu'ils nous fassent part des propositions de l'opposition soudanaise en matière de paix.
Thank you very much, Madam Verja. Actually, without your help, we couldn't have been to the European Parliament for the second time. So our thanks, heartily thanks to you and to your assistants, to your colleagues who spared very important time to listen to us and to ask questions. I'm not sure whether we have journalists here, but at least we can go. I see 2, 3 of them, whether they're here to ask questions. But if not, let me just stress a few, or emphasize a few points. Number one, here we are here for a message of peace. We are not asking the European Parliament to supply us with arms or to fuel the war in Sudan. And on the contrary, we are asking them to help us have a real sustainable peace in the whole country and to help us have a real national dialogue that leads to a constitutional change in our country. And that's the first message. And the second message is our people are really suffering in the IDP camps, in the refugee camps, and all over the country, actually. The student activists, the politicians, whoever, they are always denied of their very basic fundamental rights. And we would like to have the hand of the European Union to let our people have their freedom of expression, their freedom of association, and that we have freedom in the media to express themselves, and that's part of the, and then they have the freedom to express themselves politically. Nobody will take them to ghost houses, no extra judicial killings, no rape, so on. We'd like our people to have the freedom of creed as they wish. And we think the international community got the responsibility of helping the oppressed to have their voices heard. And we're here trying to be the voice of the suppressed. The third message is we're trying to tell the European community, the international community, that the Sudanese opposition is united. And actually today we were expecting more people because of technical and logistical reasons. Some are still in the planes, others are in the trains. They couldn't catch the hearing here or the conference here. But everybody's around and they have the same message. Number 4, we produced as SRF a roadmap for the peaceful political settlement and for the road for real national, the genuine national dialogue. And we would like the European Union to consider that roadmap, look into it, and if they think it's fair and this reasonable, we would like them to adopt that roadmap and work for it. These are the major points, and I don't want to take the whole time. My colleagues around here may have some more messages.
Yes, I have a question. I'm from Germany, die Tageszeitung. How you would judge the trigger of all the hostilities? Are the reasons more internal reasons in Sudan? Let's say even the split of the country maybe was the trigger of more hostilities in the northern part of Sudan, or do you think that more international reasons or international constellations are triggering these hostilities, and where we have to start to solve this problem? Is it an eternal problem or an international?
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? Donc je vous laisse le temps de réagir. Ah, pardon. Mako.
Thank you. So I just wanted to have the reaction of the SRF delegation about proposal that has been made by Mr. Sadiq al-Mahdi yesterday evening, when he said, I mean, that Khartoum has to negotiate with the rebels, but he said these negotiations should be, I mean, jointly, I mean, held. I mean, political parties should be involved in any negotiations with the SRF groups. He said, if, I mean, for this, I mean, political parties, he said just he gave 6 historical, as he said, 6 historical parties that should be involved in the national dialogue and then participate in the peace building, I mean, as he said, process. So this is the first point. The other point that he said, if Khartoum, I mean, the government does not accept what his 2 conditions, so that the best way is to go and to reunite the political, and military opposition forces together and to find the platform to struggle. But he said this struggle should exclude any any violence. He's against the armed struggle. So I want your reaction over these 2 points. What do you think? Because what he said, he support your demand for the unification of peace tracks. He supported because he called for this, but at the same time he said that this negotiation should not only be with the government, with the NCP ruling party, but also the other historical parties. This something is not in disagreement with your roadmap. The other point, what do you think about his proposal for the unification, political and armed opposition forces together, but to find a way to achieve political transformation or democratic transition in the country without resorting to the armed struggle. Thank you.
Djibril, je vous donne la parole en espérant que vous allez pouvoir régler le problème en moins de 5 minutes.
Merci. Okay, I'll go for the first question, then come to the others. The reasons for the conflicts in Sudan are internal and external. The major part of it is internal, actually. Our conflicts are rooted in marginalization, in unequal distribution of wealth and power in the country. And for those who know the history of the country, even before the independence, our brothers in the South took arms because they asked for the federation, and the center said no federation in one nation. Then when they nationalized the different civil service jobs after the independence, only 3 out of 806 jobs, only 3 went to the South. And that's why they took arms, when they felt the injustice. So our problems are mainly rooted in injustice, in marginalization. And in this respect, for the diversity of our society. We belong to different races, different cultures. People come from different walks of life. And the center wants us to have a unilateral culture, a single culture, one language, one religion, and everything in the line of having people in one line. And that's the root of our problems. Then, of course, the external factors contribute to the exacerbation of the situation in the country. But it's mainly internal, and unless we solve the internal problems, we are not going to have. Of course, the cessation of the South created extra problems, and because, again, the real root causes of the conflicts were not addressed. Instead, they said, okay, these people are troublemakers, let them go, and we'll live in peace. So the root causes of the conflict in all over Sudan are not addressed. And the problem, though the agreement is called the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, it was actually not comprehensive. And that's why the East was fighting, the West was fighting, the center is in trouble all over the country. So we need a real comprehensive peace in Sudan. And there we need your help, because the regime in Khartoum does not listen to voices from within. Only pressure from outside makes them listen to people. Of course, again, this depends whether China is talking, whether the United States is talking, not every voice, or whether the European Union is talking collectively. But definitely we need your voice to help us solve our internal problems. That's one. Number two, our roadmap is clear. There are two things. There is a political dialogue, national dialogue, and there is a war, how to bring about peace in Sudan so that people can have the right environment for a national dialogue. Political parties are most welcome as observers in peace negotiations, but definitely if somebody is not carrying arms, and I am talking about what do we do with the arms. If I am talking about the future of the forces, it will not be part of that. But his voice is very important, because actually we have bad experiences of the government negotiating with some party while the others are in darkness, and the end result affects the whole population and the whole country. So it is very logical for them to be there, for their voices to be heard, but at the end, the only warring parties can bring about peace. And there are the parties who are going to negotiate real peace and the future of the forces on the ground. We have been calling for the unification of the opposition from day one, because we don't think if we are not united, we can face this regime and we can bring about real change on the ground. So we most welcome what Mr. Sadiq al-Mahdi asked for unification, where all ears, the arms are open for unification. Actually, we invited all the political parties to come and attend this conference at the European Parliament. They were not lucky enough to be there. His daughter is supposed to be here, and she may be still on the road to the Parliament. I think when she comes, she will find the door closed. But at the end, we're all around working to unify the yes.
Not mine.
Yeah, we are trying to unify the opposition in Sudan. We called for conferences. You remember the New Dawn Charter. We brought about 38 the political parties as well as civil society organizations to come together to create that charter. So we are for it, and we work for that. Whether the unification of the political parties means laying the arms, that's another question. Thank you.